Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. One of the better EZAs in Dokkan has finally dropped on global, which is the EZA Turles, along with the new all-star stage has dropped as well, which I will be streaming later on Twitch. So if you want to come chill with me while I try and bang as much of that out as possible, link in the description down below. Come drop me a follow, come chill with your boy. I do also have the aircon on, which if I remember rightly wasn't too bad last time, but apologies, it is quite hot. I need to make it bearable, so hopefully you can't hear it. I'm pretty sure it was okay last time. But we are using the new EZA Turles. We have a 90% dupe system. Funnily enough, on old Dokkanfest, I've actually struggled to pull. I know he's almost rainbowed, but in comparison to others, the dupes have become few and far in between. I am starting him on his 170 lead just because he does have two 200% leads. One of them's Ginyu, which if you have Ginyu, fantastic. His 200% lead's amazing. Also Turles, an amazing support unit. Slot 3 unit, he's going to be amazing there. But unfortunately, I don't have Ginyu. The other 200% lead I have is Raditz, and you're probably not going to be running Raditz's 200% lead just because Raditz is so bad. So I'm going to show him off on a 170 lead first, and then I'm going to do another video where I show him off on the 200% just because I don't have Ginyu. Can you imagine if I had Ginyu? All of this probably would have been avoided. But here we are. And we actually have probably the most ideal rotation we can actually get with this Raditz setup. I am going to start it like this just because he does link exceptionally well, of course, with LR Raditz along with LR Raditz. Definitely not LR Raditz. Maybe if he was an LR, it'd be much better. But with LR Turles, of course, this rotation actually works out quite well. You know, some of the latter harder content, or especially Red Zone, you're probably not going to run this, obviously. But, you know, they both support each other. They link very well together. Of course, we don't have big bad bosses active right now because we need to lose some HP. But I kind of want to see what he does without the support from LR Turles right now. But we do have pretty much every single link active. And his link set, while the set itself as a set isn't the best in terms of linking partners, he doesn't link too badly with Cooler. But whenever you're going to run Strength Transforming Cooler, you're going to run him with EZA Final Form Cooler. And especially now that Worldwide is going to be the Cooler Revenge film, you're going to be running him with the new one, especially if he gets an EZA. But that is definitely a possible rotation. Not the best, but it is a possibility. But yeah, his link set, as I said, as a set, isn't the best. But in terms of what these links give, they're actually very good. You've got Destroyer of the Universe, which is attack plus 25%. Flame War Race, which we don't have active, which is attack plus 5%. Predator Battle gives him the key plus 2, but he isn't an LR. Excuse me, isn't an LR, so getting active isn't the most, like, terrible thing in the world. First for Conquest, which is attack plus 15%. Brutal Beatdown, which is attack plus 10%. Big Bad Bosses, of course, which is attack and defense plus 25%. And Fierce Battle, which is attack plus 15%. Turles has a lot of attack links. He is getting an astronomical amount of attack from his links. It's just, as a set, it isn't the best. So we're going to leave him in the middle. So with the support and all of his links, apart from Same Warrior Race and Big Bad Bosses not active right now, we do need to lose some health. He's on a 458k attack stat, 230k defense, which is very nice considering he's probably one of the better supports in the entire game. Like, probably for the last year and a half to 2 years, Turles has been a showcase unit just purely to get off his support. And now he is usable. He has the all-important thing he never had before, which is defense. And he's up to a 688k attack stat while supporting the remainder of the rotation, which is just kind of ridiculous. Like, I know, okay, that's actually good because now we can get Big Bad Bosses active. This should do quite a bit. Yeah, 148k damage. But Turles is a support while having these impressive numbers. Yes, he has support himself, but he's still looking good. 5.7 million. He's on almost a 6 mil attack stat with how good he is as a support unit. Do you know how stupid that is? That's actually wild. This is why I'm telling you, he's one of the better EZAs in the entire game, just because he's an amazing support unit, now has defense, so he's actually usable in harder content, and he's just very good. You know, yes, it's not on the level of, you know, some other units that are putting out 8, 10 plus millis, like EZA LRS Straight 4 Goku, for example, but putting out a 6 mil attack stat, give or take, while being a support unit, you can go on quite a few decent categories, might I add. You know, you're looking at movie bosses, Pure Saiyans. He doesn't link that well on Pure Saiyans, but considering he'll be floating as a support, he's fine. Terrifying Conquerors, which is going to, of course, get cooler in about, what, 3 weeks. Final Trump Card, again, he's a support unit. You could run him there if you want. Space Traveling Warriors and Planetary Destruction. Bearing in mind, again, Terrifying Conquerors and Space Traveling Warriors is also Ginyu's 200% lead. So while he doesn't have that many categories, the categories he goes on, especially again because you're going to run him as a floater, not on main rotation. I mean, you can if you want to. He actually isn't a bad slot 2 unit now. He has some defense. But he's going to be a floater, so he works well on all of them teams. But in terms of his EZA details, we're actually going to have the same warrior race link active right now. We do lose brutal beatdown, unfortunately, which is why I'm going to have one rotation with LR Turles on there and then Broly floating, so we can have all links active and also the support. But for now, we're going to run it like this. I am going to use an Usher just in case that Turles gets us killed, but no support. But we're missing brutal beatdown. We are on a 467k attack stat with 222k defense. Having over 200k defense at the start of turn is very good to be able to kind of somewhat handle yourself in harder content nowadays, especially because he's also going to raise his attack and defense by 30% on super on top of that. So having that amount of defense at the start of turn and then raising your attack and defense by 30% puts his defense in a pretty solid position. It's in a pretty good spot. Again, these type of numbers are very impressive for a unit that is primarily used as a support. Now he's support and then some. Like, he is a very good usable support unit. 701k attack stat with some orb, the 225k defense. Again, he's supporting everyone else on the rotation. It's impressive, man. Obviously, his stats aren't going to look as good as they are now when you use him again, because you're most likely going to run him as a floater. 5.1 million no support is actually still pretty good again, especially where his defense is. If you get an additional, that'd be great. He does, but he didn't super. Of course, if you get an additional, if you do have any dupes, if you get an additional, he will raise his attack and defense twice, which is obviously going to be very handy at having some extra, you know, some extra padding and doing a little bit of extra damage. But this Turles is very, very good. Very, very good. Now, in terms of the next rotation, as I said, I want to have it with LR Turles. I know I've rotated Broly off, so we're going to get him back on. And then I'm going to quickly run through the details. So after EZAing, he's now a flat 170 movie bosses lead, which is actually pretty good. Running double Turleses is actually... seems quite dangerous. Yes, it's not a 200% lead, but running double... like, say, for example, you have a movie boss stage, whether it comes to Goku, Vegeta event, ESBR, Super Battle Road, whichever. We've actually got the transformation already. You know, having double Turleses floating with constant support, considering how good he is now, like, he's going to be able to do some very good damage. He's not going to be there purely for support. He's not just going to chip. He's not, you know, an absolute liability where you have to be careful because one flick from a basic attack and he's almost dead, or you're almost dead. He's now actually very usable. Defensively, he's solid, good offensive numbers for a support unit, or primarily a unit that is used as a support unit. So imagine running dual Turleses, both in slot 3, constantly supporting, putting in the work he's putting in. That's impressive. But in terms of him being transformed now, I will get to that in a moment. I'm just going to quickly read through the rest of his stuff. He also leads extreme class with Ki +3, HP and attack defense plus 100%. On top of him raising attack and defense by 30% for the turn on super, causes immense damage with a medium chance to stun, so can be handy in Super Battle Road. On his passive, he gets attack and defense plus 160. As I said, he gets that all-important defense that he never used to have. All allies get Ki +3, attack plus 40%. All allies defense plus 40% when there is a superclass enemy, which we're facing now, and primarily the majority of the game are superclass enemies, depending on if you go in specific base category mission or category mission stages. Also, superclass enemies attack minus 20%, and of course, activate Fruit of the Triomite boost when conditions are met, which that's also increased from 25% to a 30% chance to activate for 3 turns when HP is 80% or below. So the increase on his transformation or boost conditions haven't changed all too much. But to be fair, Turles is good in both of them. Yes, he gets a little bit of extra attack and defense when he has the boost, but it only lasts 3 turns. So while it's not the biggest change in terms of the 30% from 25%, I don't really mind it. But yeah, now he actually provides defense on his support, which is very nice. And as I said, you're primarily facing superclass enemies the majority of the time in Dokkan events anyway. So majority of the time you're going to be getting that off. But now he's in his boost. Again, we still have pretty much all of our links active, which is handy. We are now getting... we recover 20% HP, which is very nice. Of course, it's not like a full heal, but it helps. But he gets attack and defense plus 200% at the start of turn now. All allies get Ki +3. And then he does lose the attack and defense support, which is a little bit meh. But considering Turles himself gets better, I kind of get the balancing. He then gets an additional defense plus 100% when there is a superclass enemy, which again we are facing is quite easy to get, considering the majority of enemies in the game are superclass enemies. Also, superclass enemies minus 80% defense, attacks effective against all types when HP is 80% or more, which getting the attacks effective against all types part may be a little bit difficult in harder content considering how much damage you can take depending on what team you're on. But now we have that 200%, we have 478k attack stat and 300k defense. On top of that, he's going to raise his attack and defense by 30% on super still. Actually, no, he stacks. I completely forgot about that. He stacks. He stacks when he's transformed, which may not seem that good, but if you think about it, every time I'm actually going to use an Icarus just so we don't take too much damage there. But if you think about it, this transformation isn't like an active skill or the kind of standard transformations we're used to where Turles will transform, and once he transforms and that's it. Don't forget, this is a boost. So he'll activate it when the conditions are met, use it for 3 turns, come out of it, and then you have the chance to go back into it. Like, you don't go into this transformation once or boost once. You can go into it multiple times. So every time you go back into it, you can stack his attack and defense up a little bit for 3 turns every time you're in it and keep that when you're back out of it. Which is also very nice. Yes, it doesn't give you consistent stacking like normal stacker units, but it helps him perform a little bit better. You do stack by your attack and defense by 20% every time you super, and then your medium chance of stun goes up to a high chance of stun, which is going to be very handy in SBR. But now we do have him transformed. He is up to a 625k attack stat with some warps. With that 246 defense, his defense at the start of turn right now is honestly ridiculous, and the fact that he can stack for 3 turns means he's just going to be performing even better, which is just kind of crazy to think about. Again, you're not going to be stacking like continuously like Ginyu. I don't think we're going to die here because of the Icarus. No, we're good. At least big bad bosses are going to remain active. 5 million attack stat. The fact you can stack up every single time he goes into his boost transformation, I mean, it's quite handy. I mean, I think if he turned into a stacker, I think Turles would probably be a bit OP. But it is quite nice. It is quite nice. So, as I said, you don't stack, you don't transform or go into his boost and then stack, or you don't stay into it or stack for a little bit and then, de-transform and then not be able to do it again. I think that'd be kind of a waste. But the fact that you can constantly go back in and out of the boost transformation and constantly stack a little bit more in longer events can actually be very handy. Obviously, when you're more likely to actually get his boost off, more frequently compared to like a Super Battle Road where you're only going to be in a fight for like 5-6 turns, or Red Zone where, you have to get in and get out quickly. But we do have his support while we're here right now. I'm going to rotate this Turles off for the time being. But we do have every link active again, apart from Saiyan Warrior Race. I am going to pop a Yemod just to make sure we don't die. But with a little bit of stack up and the support, we're up to a 632k attack stat. We've almost got 400k defense. Almost 400k defense. Honestly, I love the versatility that, again, you can just go back into his boost at one point during a fight, like a longer fight again, like Goku or Vegeta event. Stack him up for 3 turns. Yes, it's not the longest, but stack him up for 3 turns and then carry that over back when you lose the boost and go back into like the non-boosted Turles. And then just keep repeating that throughout the event. We're up to a 5.6 mil attack stat now. Any additionals with this guy is also going to be handy. Can we get one? Ah, we did. We're up to a 5.8. Also, that was a big crit. Over a 3 mil crit from Turles. Can we do another one? No, but still, we're almost up to a 6 mil attack stat. We've stacked, what, 3 times now? It's looking good, man. Honestly, it's looking good. But as I said, I love the fact that you can deboost after stacking a bit. Turles goes back to supporting everyone while also being a bit better himself. And then go back into the boost, stack up a little bit more. So as I said, in like more difficult events, he's going to be very, very good. Very, very good at the fact that you can constantly reuse his boost and stack him up a little bit more each time he does it. Especially considering his attack and defense are in a pretty decent spot even before he transforms, even before you stack, while supporting everyone else. So So Turles only gets better while still being one of the best supports in the game. Honestly, this EZA is nuts. This EZA is nuts. It's so good. It's so good. I want to see what type of numbers he's putting out now that we have the kind of more ideal rotation with him, and also Broly there, and he's stacked up a bit. So, okay, we don't have any Ushers left, but I will Yammer. So after stacking a little bit and the support, we're on an 870k attack stat, just shy of 400k defense, and also don't forget he's going to raise his attack and defense by 30% on super, which means defensively he's going to be very good this turn while putting out some pretty impressive offensive numbers. Okay, actually just in case I don't want to die, because we're about to wrap up in a minute, I'll also use an Icarus. So what are we on after picking up some orbs? So we stacked up 3 times, don't forget. We're on a 1.3 million attack stat, which is only going to go up on super. Same with the defense. His EZA is amazing. It's easily one of the best in the game. It's not the best, but it's easily up there as like, what, top 5 probably, potentially? Especially because of the categories he goes on. I said pure Saiyans, it's up to a 6.4.5 million attack stat. That's insane. Again, for the fact that he's supporting everyone as well with attack and defense, because we're facing a superclass enemy, while putting out those type of numbers and being as good as he is defensively after stacking a bit, and raising his attack and defense on super, it's ridiculous how complete of a unit Turles is. It is actually insane how complete of a unit Turles is. The only thing he's missing is like guard or damage reduction. That's all he's missing, and if he had that, he would generally be like probably up there as one of the best units in the entire game, and easily the best EZA in the whole game. This is on a 170 lead. This is on a 170 lead. He is generally insane. He is dope. He is sick. But do let me know what you think of him down in the comments. I'll see you next video, guys. And push.